Salutations everyone, and welcome to another Overwatch video where today we're going to be talking about Symmetra, who is due for a dramatic overhaul in as early as a month from now. Now, according to Jeff Kaplan, they said that it could be changes to some of her mechanics, just changing her overall feel through things like numbers and cooldowns. That's always a possibility, but they're going to look at some other changes and explore some other things as well that might be a little more dramatic in terms of design for her. So it sounds like they're willing to go, quite far from her original design to see more Symmetra. Now remember earlier, maybe 2-3 months ago, when they released a lot of the stats from Overwatch, Symmetra was the highest winning percentage character. But according to the team, they say that she's pretty much the least used character at this point, and that's definitely easy to see because she's not that great in a lot of situations. On most of your, King of the Hill maps, she's not going to be that great unless you can get those turrets on the point very quickly, and she's mostly just really good for defense. She's not very useful in attack. But they said that they aren't going to be changing her core character, not turn her into something that she's not. A lot of players have requested things like turrets that heal teammates or healing based on proximity to Symmetra's portal, but those things simply aren't in the cards. She's not a healer, and she will not become one. They would sooner move her out of the support category altogether than to alter the philosophy behind her design. So they're looking to make her more viable in more situations, which is definitely key because I myself, outside of, maybe just a few maps on defense, don't find her all that useful. I like her a lot on Anubis, I like her a lot on Hollywood, and she can find some usefulness in some other stages like Hanamura, but for the most part she's never been like a go-to character. She's alright on King's Row. The teleporter can definitely make a big difference, especially when it comes to shutting them out on the first point, which can definitely totally win you a game. But they're basically trying to make her a character that we want to play more often, that's more viable in more situations, but not game breaking, not totally changing and making her, the all and be all of the meta. Right now, she's being perceived as being okay or acceptable if you're playing defense on a first point or early in a match, but other than that, she doesn't really seem being super viable in a lot of other situations. So once again, we could be seeing changes as early as mid-November. Whether this will be changes that we get to test in the public test realm or not is to be seen. But they're not going to make her a healer. They're not going to change her core. So there's still going to be turrets, and there's still going to be shields given, most likely. I don't know if they would make her give more shields, because as it is, for Symmetras, you don't see them give away shields very often. Even though it's free, it's like an instant cooldown pretty much, but it's only 25 shields, it's not ridiculous, so they don't want to make her, give everybody 50 shields, because that would just be too crazy, in all possibilities. It's hard to tell until we see things happen in game. Nobody thought like the nano boost was going to be a huge thing with Ana, but then when it came to that triple tank, triple healer setup, and she just nano boosts Reinhardt, and that's the meta as it is right now in competitive. So I don't think they want to make a change to Symmetra that completely changes and alters everything. We've seen what dramatic impact that one change can have, whether it be the defense matrix on D.Va. All of a sudden she's a character that you see absolutely all the time. They buff her ult a little bit there as well. And we've also seen things happen to other characters to make them much less useful or less picked because of, maybe it's changes that they made to Widowmaker's scope that make her much less useful, say on console, or, other things that they've made to certain characters. A lot of people were up in arms about, the Genji nerfs, and there are some characters that started out alright as a character, but have been utilized much more, and now are just absolutely, dominant, like Zarya. So the game changes, and we're loving this, the support that this game is getting, which is no surprise, being a Blizzard product. And Symmetra, she can be a fun character. Of course, her charge shot can do ludicrous damage, and it's slow moving, and sometimes your opponent doesn't see it coming. And, her primary weapon isn't terrible in close quarters situations. It's better than, say, Winston's. It'll track your opponent, so you can definitely take out a Tracer. You can use that charge shot. If there's a Zarya, she can definitely abuse that charge shot and just get, boom, 50 barriers off of that one slow-moving, easy to absorb shot. But she definitely isn't super useful in a ton of situations on a ton of maps. So I think a change would be welcomed. She's not a terrible character. She's just not useful in a lot of situations. So as you can see right here, it's a pretty useful situation here on Hollywood where you have turrets going over doorways and taking people out. Even with my primary fire, I don't even need turrets to get play of the game right here. We're going to take out Zenyatta, and then we're going to get a full charge beam and take out that oh so powerful Genji going up in our shit. So that's it. That's the game. It's a 14-1 here with Symmetra on Hollywood on the defense, where she is shining still rather brightly in many situations, but not a character that you see a lot. She doesn't have an offensive ult. She's not going to get a ton of kills. She does have turrets. They're easy to destroy, but you can put them in really annoying places. So let's see what changes that they make. Let me know what changes you would like to see be made to Symmetra, and we'll wait, and hopefully in the next month and a half or so, we'll see a much more viable character in more situations.